Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. How's it going, man?
Doing good, Sarah. How about you, buddy?
Doing all right, doing all right. You know, it's the weather has been, more bipolar than my ex. It's hot, cold, it doesn't know what it wants to be. So, just kind of trying to, stay warm, stay cool.
I know the feeling. Yeah, same here. It's like it's beautiful and warm, and then it rains its ass off. And it's like, what am I doing? It's kind of like the crypto market. We don't know. We just kind of like, look out the window. What's doing? Hey, it's up today, down. We don't know.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much.
It is crazy. So, man, we already got some people in the room. So I want to say, hey, Rose, how you doing, my dear? Good to have you with us. BTK, my man, welcome to the show. Rooster, how you doing, brother? I even saw Ferret Pew Pew running around in there.
Oh, you saw Ferret?
I saw Ferret. Where'd he go?
Are you sure it was Ferret? I think it was Rooster.
I could have swore I saw Ferret Pew Pew. I was going to say, hi, Ferret. So, Ferret, you'll probably watch on the rerun. So, hi, Ferret. How you doing? Sorry you missed the live. And Ooh, wait. We have juicy news. Cyril's birthday episode next week. Thanks, Rose.
Thanks, Rose.
Oh, I'm so going to torment you next week. All right. I'm putting that on my calendar.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, we'd know if Ferret was here because he would be Wind Migration.
Right. Of course you would. Viral Voodoo, my man from the Pillars. How you doing, brother?
What's
Good to
happening?
have you with us. Now, they had a great announcement today of what they're growing and building as a community. It's some exciting stuff. So, that's one of the communities I personally belong to. And it's a great group of people that are trying to build educated, just like we are here on Rags to Riches. So definitely check them out. Great group of guys over there.
Yep.
Okay, so Cyril, in preparation for today, I wore a red shirt. So I have a feeling it's going to be interesting, probably ugly, but we'll get to that in a minute. But, I also saw on my phone this morning, it said that the consumer price index was released today at 12 o'clock. So it said, like, be cautious of trades. And I don't even know what this consumer price index is or how that affects the crypto market. So fill me in, brother. What is that?
Yeah, so the Consumer Price Index, also known as CPI report, right? That is essentially, if you were to really boil it down to a single sentence, it's basically, this is a snapshot of real inflation, right? That's the average price of what people are paying for different things, ranging from fuel, housing, groceries, all these different metrics. And each of those metrics has a different weighted value. And then they compile it all into the CPI report, which they put out, I believe, once a month. And I'm pretty sure it's on Wednesdays. So I don't know why you got a notification from that today. So that would have come out yesterday.
Okay.
Or should have. Is today Wednesday? No, today's Thursday.
It's Thursday. It's okay.
Maybe they released it today. I'm pretty sure it was always on Wednesdays. But that would be why everything went yesterday, and the DXY, or the dollar index, went up. At least I think it did. Let me check. Hold on. Yeah, it went up. It went up. I had to look at my charts there for a second. There's the.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You see the big old candle right there of the dollar. Yeah, that's because the CPI report was lower than it was last month, which says inflation's coming down. So that is generally viewed as strength in the economy. So people are going to roll into dollar futures, which in turn is going to increase the purchasing power of the dollar and bring everything else down, right? Everything else will come down because now it takes less dollars to purchase it because the dollar has more purchasing value. So if the dollar has a purchasing value of, let's just say 100, then Bitcoin would be at one price, but if the purchasing value of it goes up to 110, Bitcoin's going to drop 10% around there over a course of a couple of days. So be aware of that. Even in the crypto markets, you want to be aware of when these reports are coming out. Things like non-farms payroll. That's the first Friday of every month. Don't be in a trade on the first Friday of every month. You've got the CPI report. You've got, the Fed chairman speeches. There's a couple of different events each month. Be aware of those.
Okay.
All right.
So in a way, if I'm getting this right, the CPI almost acts kind of like a liquidity pool where you got the dollar on one side and crypto on the other. If the dollar goes up, the other one goes down. or vice versa. It kind of balances. Is that kind of right? Sort of, maybe. No, okay. I'll shut up now.
No, it's essentially just a snapshot of whether or not inflation is going up or down. And if it's going down, the dollar is going to go up, which is going to drag everything else down.
Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. And hey, Chrome, good to have you with us, brother. You finally made it. I even put a posting just for you, Chrome, so you can remember. So, sorry, real quick. I shared this a second ago. So this is the month-by-month CPI report. And as we can see, this month we're in at 0.4 versus last month was 0.6. So it did come down. And so that makes the dollar stronger, and that makes crypto go down. So basically, if this goes down, crypto market's going to go down. If it goes up, then crypto kind of goes up. Is that a good correlation, or am I getting that wrong?
So the correlation is derived from the dollar future index, also known as DXY, right? That's the ticker for it. Now, the dollar index is affected by the CPI report because people are more likely to invest in the dollar on the Forex markets and, the global currencies. They're more likely to invest in the dollar if inflation is going down, because that shows that the dollar is becoming stronger. And so they'll cause the purchasing power of the dollar to go up, and that causes everything else to go down, and vice versa. So that's why. Okay.
And that makes more sense. It's one of those like, okay, if this does this and this occur, unless it's a Tuesday and that occurs, then, man, it's like the Fizbin thing off Star Trek. I remember that episode. It's like, oh, it's a half Fizbin if it's a Tuesday, but if it's afternoon, then it's, so dear God. You don't remember that episode?
No. Sorry.
Boy, I'm showing my age here, apparently. Okay. Chrome says, you demand. Thank you, Chrome. Appreciate it, brother. So, of course, as always here, we try to educate, we try to guide, and, bring up something new every time. Now, last week, we talked about liquidity. And I wanted to find out if anybody had some questions. If something we covered that didn't make sense, please jump in and ask them. Because if it's not making sense, we want to make sure we're answering those questions for you.
Comment below.
Yes, please. So the next big topic here, Cyril, is the war in Israel. Now, as we know, war always has a huge impact on financial systems, which I'm sure flows over to the crypto markets. So what do you think is going to happen? How's that going to affect our crypto holdings and our future in crypto?
Well, it depends. It depends on whether or not it resolves quickly or if it's a prolonged thing, right? They like to say war is good for business, but that's more in relation to certain stocks. Anytime, there's war looming on the horizon, some companies that are great to invest in is Raytheon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, those companies that are more war-based, right? In situations, especially in the Middle East, if the conflict goes on for a prolonged period of time, it can start to impact the supply chains of things like oil, which then in turn increases the cost of gas, which then, as we just learned on the CPI report, gas is a big chunk of the weight on a CPI report. So if that is going up, then we're going to have a not so favorable for the dollar CPI report. So yeah, you want to pay attention to world events. You want to pay attention to standard market events, even if you're just here in crypto, because believe it or not, money flows around in this great big old circle, right? Through the TradFi markets, through commodities markets, through crypto markets, and back again. One of the leading indicators, if Bitcoin is going to plump in the next day or two, is the Dow going up? Did it start going up recently? Has it been going up for a day or two? If it's been going up for a day or two, what happens is people who are making money off of that, when they take profits, they keep some in fiat, some in the market, and then they put some into commodities like gold. So gold will typically go up a day after the Dow does. And then if it keeps going up, now they have excess profits. Now, one of the things I've always been preaching to you guys is a very small percentage of your portfolio should be involved in speculative assets. Crypto is a speculative asset, right? So what they do is first they secure their profits into things like gold, commodities, When they get excess profits, they'll roll some over into speculative. So usually a day or two after the Dow has been pumping or going up, or same, the Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, they're all pretty well correlated. If one of them's going up, they're probably all three of them are going up, etc. But if that's been going up for a couple of days and you see gold's going up, Bitcoin is likely to go up next. So be aware of those cycles, because then in turn, if the Dow starts going down, Bitcoin is the first thing to follow down, because one of the first things people will liquidate to cover margin calls on the market is their speculative assets, right? So they'll sell their Bitcoin, they'll sell their Ethereum, they'll cover their margin calls. If it keeps going down, gold will then follow. So, first, Dow's up, gold's up, Bitcoin's up. If Dow's down, Bitcoin's down, gold's down. That's the order that the money circle flows in.
Okay. And so let me ask you, because we've heard a lot of messages as of late over the last 6 months to a year where Bitcoin is much less of viewed as a speculative and more as a store of value. So are we seeing that cycle change and shift over the last year where it's evolving and kind of separating itself from that? Or does it still follow that same pattern?
That's why it follows that pattern. Previously on NCIS, it didn't used to follow that pattern, right? It had its own standalone. It wasn't really correlated with the markets so much, except for, of course, if markets are up and interest rates are low, borrowing money is cheap, so people will invest more. When interest rates are up, that's when the markets tighten up, because there's not money to borrow to invest. And let me do a little side segue here real quick, if you guys are down for some info. So the reason why when interest rates are up, the markets suffer, and vice versa, when interest rates are down, the market booms, is because wealthy people will borrow money generally against assets they already have in the stock market. They'll get a very favorable interest rate on that, something stupid like maybe 1, 2, sometimes 3%, because it's backed by assets, right, that they're taking a loan against. Then they take that money that they just borrowed and they'll put it back into the stock market. So they'll borrow against their stocks and they'll buy more stocks with it, because those stocks, on average, the S&P 500 goes up approximately 9 to 11% yearly, right? And if your interest rate on a loan is 2%, it's free money, right? Because your stocks that you borrowed money to buy are paying out more annually, especially if you're buying dividend stocks, than the interest rate is on the loan. Most very wealthy people will die millions of dollars in debt. But it doesn't matter, because the money borrowed, the assets were all transferred to a trust, so it's not touchable upon their death. So that is why when interest rates are low, the markets will do very well. And when interest rates are high, the markets will do very poorly. Because if the interest rates on your loan against your assets is higher than what the assets are bearing, then you're not going to see people lending and buying stocks.
Okay. And I've heard things of that before where, the rich people go out and they take loans out to speculate or invest in other places. So it's like, oh my God, this is crazy how this works. But I want to throw one caveat in there, guys. This does not mean go out and get a second loan on your car or your house or something to invest. Please don't do that. We're not one of those people at this point in time.
Well, no, there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. And that's where the difference is. Good debt is debt that you have leveraged to earn more income off of whatever asset you're purchasing. If you go out and you get, $1 million loan and you buy, a 32 unit, apartment building, you can work out the numbers and be like, okay, this is what will yield percentage wise in our investment. Is that higher than the interest rate on the loan? If yes, let's do it. It's free money, right? Okay. If no, then they're not going to do it, and you'll see a lot of market and money flow start to stagnate. And when this happens, ultimately, if there's not this influx of free money, and that's a whole nother episode right there. How it's not actually free for everybody else, but it's essentially fake. But when all this free money isn't coming in, well, then the markets will always shift to a slow decline because it has a certain amount of sell pressure natively. Most of the markets and all the valuations are from people's retirement accounts. So as people, yeah, believe it or not.
Wait, what? That's
Yeah.
old people?
Yes. Did you know that, BlackRock, Vanguard, they are retirement management, essentially. They're investment firms that handle all of these retirement funds. If you look at the numbers, over 68% of all of the money under BlackRock's control, right? And they have trillions of dollars in control. It's retirement accounts. So there's always people retiring. So the market will always have a set rate of sell pressure. And that's why if there's not fresh money flowing into the market, it will always just trend downwards.
Okay. And that's kind of scary. I mean, it's like, you start thinking about your retirement fund that you're saving up. Somebody else is using it to make money on while it's sitting there. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're making tons of money on it. And something else to think about. But I won't waste too much time on this little thought experiment here.
That's good.
We know that by the year 2100, we'll have approximately half the amount of people living on Earth that we do currently. If you guys are like, whoa, what? And it's the first time you're hearing about it, population is going to peak around 9.2 billion in the year 2060. And then from there, it's going to decline. Birth rates and all of that, it's just not working. So you're going to have a huge chunk of the population that's old, right? Especially now that people are living longer than, a lot of them should be. But now that people are living longer, what's happening is the total people able to be in the workforce is shrinking because there's not enough people being born. So you got all these people getting older, not enough people being born, so the workforce is shrinking. So what's going to happen to the global markets when all of those people are now old and retired and there's not enough people working in the workforce to continue bringing money into the markets?
Okay.
Retirement accounts, because that's essentially what has built up the markets.
Interesting. So does AI have retirement funds? Can we use the AI or the robots? Do they get something there? How's that work?
That's what BlackRock uses. They use an AI called Aladdin that they built in 1988. BlackRock was founded as a tech industry. Larry Fink was fired from his job working in mortgage securities. I think it was mortgage securities, but he was fired because he made a bad trade. He blamed it on a computer. He built the AI. He hired a couple of tech engineers and they built an AI. And that's the AI that has been managing all of BlackRock's money, deciding what to buy, what to sell. It has also been helping many, many governments with deciding where to put money when they have it. It decided what assets to keep and what to let die during the housing crisis. Aladdin was like, yeah, Lehman Brothers can go. So they didn't bail it out, and that's a thing. And yeah, so you're on the right track.
Okay, so yeah, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that AI, although we've just started hearing about it in the last year or so, it's become the buzzword and all that. It's been running, like you said, for a couple of decades now, and it's been making huge financial decisions. People have no idea. Yeah, it's been a digital market for a very long time, guys. If you're just tuning into Rags and Riches for your first time, guys, this is what we're trying to educate. This is what we're trying to teach is we are very early for the masses to come in, but make no mistake, most of this technology has been running for quite some time.
Yep. I mean, Aladdin is as old as I am.
Wow, that old. So your birthday is next week. How old are you going to be anyway? Mm-hmm.
Halfway to 70.
Perfect. You're still a young pup.
That's what they say. But look at all this gray, man. Look at all this gray.
At least you have hair to turn gray with. So I don't want to hear it, man. Got you there. Okay, so nobody has any questions about liquidity pools, really? Come on, guys. We covered that last week. And I know there's got to be a couple of people still going, how do you even spell liquidity? I mean, come on. If you got questions, this is the place to ask them, please.
Yeah.
And Rooster says, of course, my connection sucks. Rooster, man, I am sorry, buddy. You always have connection issues. I don't know if you live out in the swamps with like Yabonks where his internet sucks as well or what it is, but Yeah, it happens, brother. I'm just glad you're here either way.
He's way out there. Like I know the general location, and I think he lives on like an island or a peninsula or some nonsense like that. But yeah, he's off in the boonies. So yeah, his connection will always suck. Sorry about
that. Well, that's the way it goes, buddy. So no, I think that's the majority of what I had going. Now, man, my brain just froze. I don't know what it was, but it just froze. So, what else do you got to throw into this educational week, Cyril?
USDR.
What is USDR?
So yesterday, so many of you are familiar with stable coins like USDC, BUSD if you're on Binance, USDT, Tether, right? You know about these stable coins. And stable coins are essentially a token that is backed one for one with collateral of an equal dollar value, right? So if I had $100, I could go make 100 tokens called RUSD, rags to riches USD, and then I would be able to give that to people, and people know, okay, one of these is worth $1 because Cyril has dollars for each of these tokens in a vault that at any point in time, I could send him back the token and say, send me the dollar. And he has the collateral to do so. That's a stable coin. One of my brothers jokingly said, can I make a stable coin backed by M&Ms? And I'm like, yes, you could. I don't think anyone would use it, but you can. Right. So USDR was a stable coin that was collateralized by a basket of different things, right? They were collateralized partially with DAI, D-A-I, which is a stable coin that's collateralized with dollars and USDC and stuff like that. That's the other thing you got to be careful of. A lot of these stable coins are collateralized with other stable coins. So who really has the money? Right. And US Tether came under fire for that, USDT. Until a year and a half ago, only 2% of their stablecoin was actually backed by cash reserves. The other 98% was corporate paper, which is essentially debt owed to them, right? So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to show you guys what happens when the collateral runs out.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
Let me full screen this.
All
right, so as you can see, this is what a stablecoin's chart should look like. Basically a straight line across the board, right? It's going to have some fluctuations. I'd have to really zoom in to see those fluctuations, but it's going to have some fluctuations up and down, right? Now, this is not what your stablecoin is supposed to look like. They fell 50% in the span of 4 hours because this is the hour chart. This started yesterday at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Their DPEG began. And then from there, it just dropped hard. It wound up finding a quasi bottom at it was 49 cents is where its bottom was. Now, if you went and took your dollar down to the grocery store and said, hey, yeah, I'd like to buy this chocolate bar. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Your dollar, I'm only going to apply 49 cents of it towards your purchase. You got to come up with more dollars to make up the difference. And each of those, I'm only going to give you 49 cents for. How quickly do you think people would be getting rid of those dollars and getting something else, right?
Very quickly. Yeah, that's just ugly.
Right.
But now let me ask on this. So a couple questions come to mind. First of all, is what started the depegging?
Yeah. So let's talk about what they were pegged to. And then we can talk about the start of the depeg. So a portion of their reserves was in an insurance fund, which is essentially just cash on the side. Then they had a portion of it, I think it was like 20% or something like that, was collateralized by DAI, the other stable coin. And then the bulk of it because they kept talking about, oh, we're over collateralized, which is a good thing for a stablecoin to be, right? It means if I got 100 tokens, instead of having $100 in my vault, maybe I have $110 in my vault. So I'm over collateralized. Now, in their case, the bulk of their collateral was something called tangible, or TNGBL, right? That was they're essentially NFTs that are representative of real world assets. Some of those assets range from gold bars, watches, and real estate. The biggest one was the real estate. Now, the problem with that is real estate's not a very liquid thing. You can't quickly sell it and get cash in hand in the span of a couple of seconds, right? It's a process. It's a multiple month process to list up a property, sell said property, go through closing, inspections, all of that. Not a liquid asset. So why would you back a stable coin with an illiquid asset that would take you a couple months to sell? And so what happened was when the markets were not being very favorable the other day, people started converting, basically exchanging their, essentially cashing out, right, their USDR. And what happens is, first it burnt right through that 20% that was collateralized with DAI, and then it started hitting the, oh shit, there's nothing else that we can liquidate to keep the peg. Because when people are selling, you know, you've seen a standard chart. If people are selling, the chart goes down, right? Well, in the case of a stable coin, there's special code, and I'm not going to go into it, but there's special code that essentially keeps it trading flat. So it stays worth $1, even if people are selling or even if people are buying. So when it runs out of that collateral, to keep it stable when people are selling, it'll drop very rapidly. And as soon as the stablecoin starts dropping, it's the last one off is a rotten egg, right? You know, so everyone tries to get out before everyone else does, because now the price is moving, which means my money, that my $1,000 or whatever that I had sitting there in a stablecoin, is not worth $1,000 anymore. I'm watching as it's $980, $940, $500, you know, happening within the span of like 3 hours. That's crazy. So that's what happened with USDR. And if you're looking to protect yourself, because a lot of people say, well, Cyril, what should I put my money in if it's not actively invested, but I have it there ready to deploy? I always tell them USDC. The reason for that, and this is not a promotion or whatever, but the reason that I use USDC is because everything is collateralized with actual US dollars in their company vaults. They're a registered company, yada, yada, yada. It's fully collateralized. Next best choice, unfortunately, would be UST, or I mean, not UST, USDT. Definitely still UST.
Yeah, big difference there.
That's an inside crypto joke, I guess, at this point. If you're within the last year, anyways.
Right.
So the best thing that you can do is look into what are they using to collateralize this stable coin. Make sure that they have audit reports of their collateral, you know, documents that you can go and look at either on their site or in their Discord or Telegram or wherever it is, that you can see, okay, yes, they do have this much of USDC in this Gnosis safe or this wallet or whatever to back their USDR or whatever the stable coin is. Verify the collateral, and then you can use it comfortably. But if it is collateralized by anything illiquid or another token that does move in price, stay away from it. Just stay away from it.
That makes sense. Absolutely. And now let me ask you the next question on this. Of course, a while back, we had a chat about the USDC. Circle went in depegged because of the whole Silicon Valley Bank, I think it was.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. And that was actually a great opportunity when it got down there, hit that bottom, to get some, because we knew it was going back up. And so question, is this a similar aspect where this might be a speculative gain Or is this one of those where it's like a poison apple, just stay the hell away from it because it's not going to bounce back?
The reason why USDC, I knew it would bounce back, right? So USDC's depeg was caused by a lot of people exiting out of crypto very rapidly, right? And so USDC was being converted to fiat and sent to their bank accounts, and when that happens very rapidly on exchanges, those individual exchanges, they have a certain depth in their liquidity pool, right? So there's only a certain amount that they can really sell out. And so it started depegging, a lot of it due to fear, because people heard that Circle, the company behind USDC, had money in Silicon Valley Bank, right? Now, everybody panicked. They're like, oh shit, the collateral, right? And so they started leaving USDC very rapidly, and it caused that depeg. But the reason why I wasn't concerned about it, imagine you have $1 million in your bank account right now. Okay? You misplaced $500. Then you get told your friend found said $500 and they're going to mail it back to you, but it would take like a month or two. Do you care at all?
No. Not even a little bit. It's like, cool, thanks, okay, whatever.
Right.
$1 million bucks, I'm not even going to notice $500. I mean, I probably wouldn't even realize it was gone.
Thank you. And that is why when USDC depegged, I told everyone, I'm like, look, get your Tether or whatever, get it ready, your other stable coins, and you're going to convert it back to USDC when I say go. And I started longing on a futures market when USDC dropped down to 87 cents. I started longing it. And it, of course, returned to peg because Circle's like, oh, we're depegged, let's fix this. And they went in and they fixed it. They deployed the capital where they needed to. A lot of arbitrage occurred, blah, 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 blah. And everything went back to normal because, $500 over $1 million, who cares, right? They'll fix it. And so they did. Now, in this case, again, the only collateral they got left is the real estate. It would take them how long to liquidate it? Plus, if you read their official statement, which they didn't release for hours after the depeg, their official statement told everybody, hey, we're going to wind up getting rid of USDR. They have this whole list of things that you can exchange it for. Essentially, they have like this basket of the REITs or whatever, and they're letting people exchange it for that. I'm not going to go into it, but they're getting rid of it. So I really don't see anybody buying it, hoping it goes back to peg, because they're planning on sunsetting it, and you got to exchange your USDR to get these other things or whatever that they're giving to make holders right. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't try to. I was kind of sad that they weren't listed on any futures exchange platform, so I could short them when they first started their depeg.
Right, I know we talked about that when that happened. I'm like, hey, is there a short possibility there? So, real quick, guys, I know it's dance-off time, but yes, for the new people there, I would take just a couple minutes, real quick, Cyril, because we just used a couple terms that maybe some people aren't familiar with. That was a long and a short. So, can you give us just a real quick synopsis of what a long is and what a short is, just to help them understand what the hell we just said?
Yeah, so without going too much into detail, longing and shorting is something you do on a platform known as a futures market. It's where you can speculative trade using leverage. Longing means I'm putting my foot in here and I believe the price is going to go up. If it goes up, I make money. Great. Shorting, the super sweet explanation, is saying I'm putting my foot in here, saying if it goes down, I'll make money. There's much longer, more proper explanations that I could give, but I know it's dance-off time, so maybe we'll touch on that afterwards. Maybe we won't. We got lots to go over. So
we do, absolutely. So yeah, and we're probably going to have a whole episode one of these days on just long and shorting futures market. What is a futures market? So yeah, we're going to have to do it like a special Saturday afternoon or something there. So okay, so it is that time.
Saturdays.
Okay, Sunday? We'll find a time. We will make time somewhere to help. And you know what? If you guys have questions, jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord, because that is the only place in which you can go in and vote for what we're investing in here on Rags to Riches. And so let me share that real quick while I'm here. And I had it, I lost it. This is why I can't have nice things. I know it's up in the chat somewhere, so I'm just going to repost it there. There you go, guys. If you have not joined the Down Home Crypto Discord, that is where you can ask any question you could possibly imagine. And there is somebody in there that has an answer, I guarantee it. Short of the one that I know Ferret PP would be asking, and that's just hold your horses. Because you know that one's coming, Cyril. But yeah, if you have any questions, need any help, and I don't care if it's, hey, what is MetaMask? What is a stable coin? What is a long and shorter? If it's much more in-depth, what do you think about this crypto project? That's okay. Jump in, ask your questions, but always make sure to go in to the Vote Now channel. What that does is that enters you into the vote, what we're going to be investing in here every week. Because we always go with what you guys choose. You Bonks, my man. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Just in time for some dancing. Although I do not see you Bonks on the list of voters here. So
shame.
On your screen. Yeah, shame on you. But let Godric vote, man. I guarantee he's going to vote for something good. So our voting list has gone up steadily, guys. So thank you very much for that. And you Bonk says, sorry, I'm late, about to record AMA, but wanted to stop and say hi and leave a like and comment. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, you Bonks. And yes, everyone, please do us a favor here. Leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. Because our whole goal is trying to educate, guide, and teach everybody about this amazing crypto opportunity. And Rose says, hi, you Bonks in the house. Yeah, buddy. Forgot to vote this week. Yeah, you're in trouble. Yeah, you got called out, brother, right here, live on cam. That's okay. We'll forgive you. You're a busy man, and you're running the sanctuary by yourself. If anybody doesn't know, Ubonks is a great friend and a mentor who really turned me onto this. And he's got his own YouTube channel, but he runs an animal sanctuary down in Florida. And so his whole goal is to help these animals that have been rescued from very hostile and unpleasant environments. I've heard some of the stories. It's pretty horrific. Great guy. Definitely go over, support his channel, check out his Discord. Awesome guy. Bonks, I love you, brother.
Likewise.
Okay, so our voters today, as you guys know, we have the normal list of voters, and then at the bottom we have that Serenity plus 10. So we're doing a dance-off, and the last person standing wins $10 in stablecoins, USDC. Just so we're clear, it's not USDR.
Oh, not USDR?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. I'd be tempted. Some people I might, just to be sarcastic. That's just me. But as always, guys, if I win the dance-off, I add another $10 to the pot, and we go again. Every time I pop up, we go again. So this is why I'm excited if I lose, and everybody else is bummed out if I lose. So it's kind of a reverse roll for some fun here.
I still hope that one of these days you wind up winning like 8 times in a row and have to give away $90. That'd be great.
That would be awesome. I would love to do that. That would be amazing. Sorry, went down the wrong pipe. You're welcome, brother. Man, you are the best as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You'd think after 86 years you'd be able to swallow water correctly.
Yeah, you're a lot of help. I always forget that. Stop breathing, then drink. Oh, shit. I get this too screwed up. Breathe, drink, got it.
I kid.
Oh, no, it's great. It's like last night my wife made a great comment. She's like, oh, you're so cute. I just want to hold your head underwater until the pretty bubbles stop. She's like, wait a minute. She said it all cheery, too. So it's like, oh, that sounded pleasant. And then you think about it. Oh, my God, she wants to murder me. Great. I love it.
I kind of hope Rose wasn't listening when you said that, because that's going to be her new thing if she was. Yeah.
It could be. I hear it frequently. So I'm always happy I didn't get smothered in my sleep. Okay. You guys ready? You win $10 USDR. So what is that? 21.4 coins? How many stables is that, BTK?
They're at 57 cents right now. So it'd be like 17 point something. I don't know. I got it. Yeah. Let's see. $10.
We got to find out just for fun.
17.54. Yeah.
The math man. Oh, and by the way, Cyril, bad news. Rose was listening.
Ah, damn.
While I said, uh-oh, what did I miss? I'll catch you up later, dear.
Countdown.
Okay, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big money, no whammies. Shake it, shake it. See, there's a bonus spot right there on the bottom of the screen.
It'll be the first one out.
Probably I was last time. I'm like, yeah. Come on, guys, dance. That's some weak dancing here. That's
There we
better.
go. That's better.
Ooh, almost took me out.
Yeah, you were almost the first one out.
Yeah, it was close. I dodged. Damn it.
Sorry, Taylor and Chrome.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's pretty bad, Chrome. You show up and you're the first one out, buddy. Sorry, brother.
Goosh. Sand Wars.
Sandwar's gone.
Barrett and J-Steen. Oh,
I died. Sorry.
oh wow, everyone is just dropping like flies.
Dude, what the hell? Cheetos and Johnny Richter.
Hey.
Congratulations, John. Okay, as you guys know, you have to be watching the stream because you have to send me a DM before the stream ends to receive your prize. And if not, it goes to next week's and adds on. So, John, shoot me a DM, brother, and I will get that to you guys. And I want to say thank you for everybody for taking the time to vote and making this such an awesome event.
Thank you. Otherwise, you guys are part of this whole process, right? You decide what DeFi project we're putting in. If I got to decide, then we got problems. Serenity has to decide. We got even more problems.
Yeah, because I just kind of close my eyes and throw darts. Like, yeah, perfect.
Believe it or not, you would actually do better than most retail traders if you did that.
See, now that's a scary concept, man.
They tested that.
Really?
So there is a fish on Twitch. You can go watch his live stream. If he swims to one part of a tank, he buys a stock. If he swims to the other part of the tank, he sells a stock. And it's all done automatically. They have a webcam that's on him, and it tracks where he is on the screen, and it will literally buy and sell random stocks. And he's more profitable than retail traders on average.
That's insane. Okay, I got to go look that up.
Something for your free Friday show.
Yeah, that'll be a great one for that. Absolutely. And Funny Rose says, congrats. Rose says, congrats, John. John, everybody's telling you congrats, brother. Make sure you DM me. I will be checking on that. And see you bunks. Go now and vote next week. There you go. Exactly. Guys, right now the polls are open. And as you guys know, if you watched this before, I create the polls every Thursday morning. So long before the show is live, the polls are open, ready for next week's show. So definitely go in right now, as soon as we're done. Go in, cast your votes. But here's the thing. I want to give you a kicker here, guys. We are going to remove only burns from the voting polls, okay? So this is one of those administrative decisions, and we're going to cover that in a second. So do not vote for only burns this week, and I will be removing it from future polls, okay?
Yes.
And we will be talking about that as soon as I catch up on the chat here.
I'll get my
ready. Cool. Funny Turo, good idea. Exactly. Yes. Right now, guys, open it up on your phone. Go do your voting, whatever you got to do. Just don't leave us here because we don't want to be lonely because then we're stuck with each other and that never goes well. We come up with some crazy things. You want to know. So we're saying is we need another fish. Yeah, there we go. I don't even have a fish. Can I do that with the birds? They fly around.
We probably could.
There you go. This could be fun. No more fishies. Yvonne says, done. Voted for next week. My man. There you are. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And by the way, guys, real quick, tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Time, Yabonks has his Friday live event. And then right after him, I always do the Freaky Friday show. So, and we got your Friday nights covered. Come in, join Yabonks, join me. Let's have some fun. We're going to have a party.
Well, I will not be able to pop in because I will be on a getaway retreat with Rose there in the comments for our 11-year anniversary.
Congratulations, guys. 11 years. That's impressive in today's society. With the generation nowadays, if you make it 3 years, that's good. Being where I've been together for 20 plus years, I tell you the first 5, it's just a bloodbath. After that, it's like, okay, now we're going to kill each other. Then after that, you kind of mellow out. It's like, you know what? I'm just happy in my safe place. So congratulations, guys.
Thank you. So won't be able to pop in. Sorry.
That's okay. It's for a good reason. So I hope you guys have a blast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the money AMA been studying for days.
Money AMA. Well, our rags to riches. We exited Elephant Money last week or right before last week's show because we made our profit off of it and we sold literally at the top before it crashed. So
Woohoo for us. But we did some reinvesting back in the liquidity pool.
Yes.
It's going to be good to find out how that looks. Where it says 11 years. Woohoo! Congratulations, dear. Congrats, Kears. Just won the ultimate crypto trading ferret. There you go. See, that's what we need. We need a ferret that runs around and trades for us. Woohoo! Thank you, dear. Trying to catch up. The comments just keep rolling through. I love it. Keep it going. I'm good with comments all day long. We're good. We can cut down the end to like a really short piece. It's okay. Where do I vote again? Rooster, my man. Definitely jump in the Down Home Crypto Discord. And I will put it in the chat again right now. There you go. And on that, there's a special channel on the left that says vote here. But also, guys, cast your vote. Just down below that is discuss the vote. So on these crypto projects, Cyril and I don't go in and do the research on these. We trust in our community to do that. So if you want to share the knowledge, the information, why you're passionate about that, guys, share it in there. Share the link. Share whatever you want to share in the discuss here. And let's hammer this stuff out. Together we grow and we learn together. So yeah, let's make it a good adventure.
Absolutely. Straight up, when we first bought into Elephant Money, knew nothing about them. I've never joined their Discord. I haven't even looked at their website. Nothing, right? Funny Toro had done the initial suggestion and said, hey, let's add this to the portfolio. He gave this really nice write-up about it. Serenity read it. I didn't. I just hit the buy button. And then I looked at the chart. And based off of just the chart, decided when we were going to sell, got us out of there. We made good money off of it. So, yeah. But let's take a look at our portfolio.
Yes. And real quick, John said DM sent. Congratulations, John. Good to have you, brother. What was the week's the winners this week? So we're going to look at for best case scenario. I have to post tomorrow during the day sometime. Okay, so tomorrow we're looking for an AMA from you bonks. Looking forward to it. So, Cyril, how do we stand as of now? And I wore the red shirt for a reason. Give us the bad news, brother.
Yeah, so let's start off with our P&L sheet. So we started the week with $499.99. We ended the week with $471.54.
That's bad.
It's a loss of $28.45, or 6.03%. However, combine that, with the last 3 weeks, we're up 11.73% over the previous 2 weeks, and then we wound up losing 6%. So we're still trending upwards, which is nice. So yeah, we had a little bit of a loss this week, but I mean, look at the markets; they've been pretty bloody.
They have been bloody for sure. Now, real quick, I want to clarify this: is this actually a loss? Have we actually sold at a loss, or are our holdings just down currently?
Our holdings are currently down in value, but it's an unrealized loss. We have not sold the assets, realizing that loss. We still have the assets. So, it's not a loss until you sell or convert it for a different asset.
Exactly. And that's one thing I want to strive there is a lot of times we use the terms loss because it did lose over time. But yet, until we sell, guys, remember, we haven't really lost. If it turns around and doubles tomorrow, then we made huge gains. So there's a big difference between unrealized losses and realized losses. And if you don't understand what those are, definitely jump in the Discord. Ask. Let's educate. Let's teach. Let's grow. That's what we're all about.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to touch on this because I had been, what was it? I had to veto Only Birds when it wound up winning that one time. Right. And the reason why we're taking it off the list. So one of the things we try to teach here is proper balancing between your investments when you're diversifying. So our spot holdings should not have one asset at 31.3%. Okay.
Oops.
And that's why I put my foot down and said, you're not allowed to vote for this one anymore. We got to balance out our portfolio a bit. Right now, we have a decent amount in BNB, and that's because we took profit on our elephant money position, and we're holding it as BNB right now, as a state or as the blue chip, because when we converted, BNB was kind of at a lowish price. I mean, it's dropped a little bit more since then, but for where it was at, it's a good idea to keep it there for right now. Typically what we'll do is we'll put probably about a third of this into a blue chip, a third into a stable coin like USDC, so that we have it ready to deploy. And then the other third will get rolled over into a new investment. So like when you guys do your votes and you say, okay, we want to go with this project, instead of it being $20, it would be 30% of $122 plus the $20 going into that project, giving you a nice leg up as you hop and balance and diversify your portfolio a bit.
Okay, and that makes sense. And yeah, 31% in one DeFi project, that's a huge chunk of our wallet, guys. I mean, that's almost a third of everything we've got. So even though it is a project many of us believe in and Cyril's the founder of, I think it's great that he's willing to say that, no, this is not okay. That's not proper investing, strategic investing practices. There we go. I'll spit it.
Yeah. And then we can see here our Elephant Money LP position. When we first made it, it was like $42.07 in value. Due to price depreciation in BNB and Elephant Money since we initially made it, the valuation has dropped. But if you remember, we had 45 million tokens that we deposited in there, and now we have 52.8 million tokens. Now we had like 0.1018 BNB that we deposited, and now it's 0.08732. So we lost some BNB and got some more tokens. And we went over the why that happened in the last episode, so be sure to check it out. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on that right now. So we have that investment portion right here in our wallet. We have our spot.
You lost your screen.
Oh, you lost my screen?
Yeah, I lost you.
I hit the stop sharing button, so this my bad.
It wasn't me this time. Woohoo!
There we go. All right. So the two of them, our LP investment and our spot holdings, are represented at 471.54 for the week.
Okay. Awesome. That makes sense. And now, of course, we had a couple questions. It's funny to where I was asking, so no more than 10% of one token. Is that a good number, or where do you draw the line?
So I would say that depends on the size of your account, right? If you have a small account, 15%, maybe 20%, because you don't want to be diversified into too many projects, right? So if you make it 10%, then you're going to wind up with, like 8 to 9 different DeFi projects that you wind up in, if you don't have a big blue chip holding. So it's better to it depends on the size of your account, right? If you got a small account, around 15% is okay, 20% maybe. If you have a bigger account, then at that point, you can make the decision based on your account and experience because you've built it up, right?
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
It's about risk appetite.
There you go. Okay. And that's the biggest thing here, guys, is keep in mind, we're trying to really educate the newer investors, but all these principles operate the same on larger accounts. Just some of your variation and your risk appetite is going to vary because your education and your knowledge has grown. And as that grows, you are going to know the difference of when to put a little bit more into this or maybe a little bit less because you're comfortable with it. It's kind of like anything else. Experience really is key here.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. And so now let me ask you real quick on that, Cyril. Now, out of curiosity, sheer morbid curiosity, had we taken that total lump sum instead of going in the liquidity pool and just bought elephant tokens today, would there be a difference, or does it work out about the same?
So if we were to break the LP right now, then we would have gotten a few more tokens than, if we had just held it or like sold it all and then looked to buy, 52 million tokens. We would have paid a little bit less than BNB to do so. But the thing with an LP pool, if you're looking, again, a lot of this is going to be in last episode, right?
Right.
Depending on what you're looking to do with it, right? The fees that you earn from the trading help balance that out. As people are buying and selling, you're earning a fee on that. So that helps balance it. And plus, if you're holding it until it comes back up, well, then now you have the 45 million tokens that you started with and the same BNB you started with, plus all the fees that you got during that time. If it goes up further, well, then you lose the elephant money and you get more BNB, right? So depends on what you're doing with it.
Okay. And also, we never know when the bottom is. And so you can't time that bottom. It's not going to happen, guys. We've talked about that time and time again. You're not going to catch the very, very top. You're not going to catch the very, very bottom. It just doesn't freaking happen. So, you look at the bottom of the chart and think, man, I should have bought it on that day at 12:07 p.m., Saturday, September 12th, whatever. It's not going to happen. I guarantee it won't. So, yeah, once in a lifetime. I mean, Cyril, in your years of doing this, how many times have you ever perfectly timed the top or the bottom and made a purchase at that exact second?
The exact second?
Yeah.
Well, never. No one's going to time the exact second there. That's usually done by AI bots, high frequency trading the market. High frequency trades, there's thousands of trades going on a second. But how many times have I bought or sold at the top? Sold at the top or bought at the bottom? There's been a couple of times actually, but it usually wound up being sheer luck, or I bought exactly when it touched a trend line, and that was the exact bottom. So it doesn't happen frequently. I've been doing this 14 years, and I can maybe count it on one hand.
Okay. So yeah, it's and the real message here is don't freak out because, I just barely missed the bottom. If you're doing strategic practices, being close is really, really good. Because like I said, most traders, they're not even that close. They screw it up more often than not.
So let's take a look at this week's focus.
Yes. Real quick, does this, before we do that, because Funny Toro did have one question about the dividends paid on the MAS token. Because we do have the MAS token now, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of those. And they are staked in that 30-day lock. After 30 days, we can pull it out whenever. I don't think we're going to collect a whole lot in it because we do have so few. But what we do collect when we're done farming, we'll convert it over to USDC or BNB or whatever we're deciding at that point, and then that'll roll into our spot and invest and speculative investments.
Okay, so we don't have a big enough bag to take whatever dividends we're making day by day and reinvest it somewhere else at our size of portfolio. Right?
No, you're gonna wind up spending more in gas, trying to claim that 1 or 2 cents that you got that day.
Okay, and that's what I figured, and that's where you got like we talked about, the portfolio size really is critical on how you're going to play it. Because if you got millions of dollars and you're making $1,000 a day, that's a very different story than making a few pennies a day. Right. The gas fees just aren't worth it.
Right, exactly.
So great question, Funny Toro. Man, I'm glad you brought that up, brother. Okay, so let's share. Did I share Suze? I lost it. Found it. Okay, we're back. Okay, so the voting this week. We have, my mic is right in the way. Now, this is kind of interesting because our blue chips don't show a lot of activity. It's kind of odd, kind of scattered around. BTC, what do we got? 2, 2, 2, and a 3. We got Matic at 3. That's our biggest one there.
I guess we're getting Matic.
Okay. How do you feel about Matic? Is that, I know it was down and it was a really good buy. Has it kind of leveled out to where it's solid now? Or do you think it's still like
it's an even better buy?
Ooh, we like that. Even better is good for us.
Yeah, it's on discount. I think it's down at like 50 cents, 51 cents, something there now. I think last week it was at like 56 cents.
Right.
So yeah, it's cheaper.
And so that, of course, goes to one of the rules of solvency. And who else besides Cyril can give me a quick synopsis of what that rule is? Type in the chat. I'm curious if anybody can throw that. I'm sure you know which one I'm thinking of, right, Cyril?
Yeah, I know exactly which one you're thinking of.
Okay, good.
But while we're giving them an opportunity to do that. Let's take a look at the DeFis. We got Mass, Soburn, and...
So we've got a tie between Mass and Oburn.
Yeah.
I know how this one's going to go.
I'm going to break that tie, and we're going to go with increasing our Mass position. Okay. And we'll add it to our lock if it lets me add. If I have to make a whole new lock, I don't know as if I will. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that's interesting. Is I don't know enough about Mass to know if you can add or if you have to make a new one. Interesting.
I don't really know anything about it either, other than the fact that Funny Toro said, I'm going to vote for this. And I was like, it's not Oburn, so I say yes.
Perfect. So, and as you guys know, if there is a tie, Cyril is here to break that tie and to set us straight on our path. So thank you, sir, for always being the wise one in the room, because Lord knows it's not me.
Well, I don't know about that, but while you're waiting for him to show up, you can practice on me.
Perfect. I'm good with that. Okay. So nobody has answered the riddle for today. That's too bad, because I was going to give a prize for it. So Cyril, which rule of solvency is it that makes Matic such a great buy?
Buy when the streets run red with blood, even if it is your own.
That's right. Absolutely. And guys, as we've been saying, is all this turmoil, all these things within the crypto space, if you're in the blue chips and if you're in these projects that are going to survive, it's not like Bitcoin's going away or Ethereum or one of those. It's a blue-white special, guys. This is the time to build up. Now, I don't say go get a loan on your home or something, but scroll a little bit away, because in the next couple of years, that could be worth a huge amount.
Could be.
Yep. We never know. And so, looks like we are going with Mass and Matic then this week again, correct?
M&M sounds good. Maybe we'll make a stablecoin backed by our M&Ms.
I was going to say, hey, all right, stablecoin, here we come.
That's how you have a conversation come full circle.
God, we're good at it. We're getting good at this game. I like this.
We are. But after 20 episodes, we better be.
Exactly. And our portfolio's building up pretty solid. I can't wait to see what we look like when we hit our 50 or 100 episode. That's going to be awesome.
Well, episode 52, and then we got to renew our contract. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. Let's see.
I committed to a year, 52 episodes.
Right.
We'll have to see where life's got me at that point, and hopefully at that, by then, we'll have taught you all how to make smart investment decisions and grow your portfolio from rags to riches.
There you go. But of course, at that point in time, we're going to have new people coming in, and they're going to need to go through this journey again.
Tell them to go to episode 1.
I like that. That's good. So, real quick, guys, a reminder is definitely cast your vote. Join the Down Home Crypto Discord. But also, like I covered last week, is now Down Home Crypto has grown and evolved to a monetization level, which means that there are now memberships. So, as you notice here on YouTube, there's a join button. Now, there's 3 different level of memberships. There's a friend, which is to help the community out, spread the love. There's a family, which opens up a whole new set of channels within the Discord. That's where I put my personal investments, what I'm diving into, new mining projects or crypto projects. Like, hey, I just heard about this. It's high risk, but this is what I'm doing with my money. That's where you're going to find that information. And there is now a new VIP family access channel. And that is every episode of Freaky Friday. It's going to be a backstage pass. So if you want to get up here, you want to be a part of the fun, in there, you will find a backstage pass to every live event that is not structured. So definitely think about checking it out. And all of that goes right back to the community. That's how we do the giveaways. That's how we spread the word. And that's how we try to keep putting the education out there. So thank you for your guys' support. And all I ever ask for being here and being part of this is give me a thumbs up, hit the like down below, and cast your vote. That's it, guys.
And, maybe by the end of episode 52, when our show's all big, and we have tons of viewers, and you're all like, whatnot, we can tell Mountain Dew to sponsor me or something. Just send me cases, because I'm always drinking it on stream, right?
I noticed it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we're gonna get a hold of Joytech for my vape. Yeah. We could probably work something like that out, guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please. We can't do this without you. So jump to the Discord, ask your questions, share your knowledge, and let's grow together, because that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. I will see y'all next week.
Thank you, guys. Be safe, and I'll catch all of you tomorrow night. We're going to have a special Freaky Friday. I don't have a special guest. What I do have is a vision of where we're going to go. And that is going to be P2E gaming, and gaming within the crypto space and regular game. So hop in. We're going to have a bunch of special guests. We're going to do some streams, some giveaways, and have just a Friday night party as always. So, Cyril, thank you, brother. Everybody have a great night, and we'll catch you tomorrow night. Bye, guys.
Take care.